footage is certified PG. Pretty great.
It's Anomaly Presents with your friends, the Podcastronauts.
Sounds like a lot of supernatural baloney to me.
Supernatural. Perhaps. Baloney. Perhaps not.
Hi, everybody. We're back. It's Anomaly Presents, the podcast about the genre movies that inspired a genre film festival. That is the Anomaly Film Festival, held every year, including this one in beautiful Rochester, New York. We are doing that this November, 5 through 9. That's the 5th through the 9th, if you're nasty. We are at the Little Theater. We are also spending one evening at the Palatial, I guess we'll call it this time, Drive-In Theater at the George Eastman House. We are making progress in screening films to find out what we're going to share with you then. So keep an eye out at anomalyfilmfest.com for all of the information on that. But first, we have a podcast to do, don't we? Yay.
And thank goodness for that.
Yes. I've been looking forward to it. We were talking a little bit before we got going, and we realized it's the first episode we've done with our lead actor. It's our first Vincent Price, which feels shocking to me.
Yeah.
Some might say abominable.
Embarrassing. Oh, sorry. I stepped on your joke because I'm upset. For real.
Some might say
real
abominable.
emotions.
It's the Abominable, Dr. Phibes. 1971 classic. It's in the great tradition of American International Pictures. They take something that works really well and then makes kind of an interesting pastiche of it. This is basically let's take a Hammer horror movie. Let's grab a lot of stars, like more stars than you think there should be in this thing. Put it all in a blender and kind of make a slasher movie out of it. And that is the Abominable, Dr. Phibes. Let's see. How do we want to start this one? Meg, what'd you think of it?
Hi, this is one of my favorite movies ever. It's a comfort movie for me. 20 times, 30 times, 50 times. I wouldn't be surprised. It's weird and it's beautiful and it has Vincent Price in it. And, you know, it's got some nice righteous revenge, which is always a favorite of mine. It's gorgeous. It's such a beautiful, weird ass film. It's very much like if my brain was up on the screen, a good chunk of it would be like just this on a loop.
I feel like there's definitely kind of a shared vision or shared visual between this and Phantom of the Paradise at certain points. They kind of echo each other a bit. So that was it's
my other most favorite film in the world. Yeah.
It's striking. That first time he's sitting at the organ and you're like, oh, this is where this, I think, is probably where De Palma got some of it, or it's really close parallel thinking. KP, what'd you think?
I loved it. So this was my first time watching it. So thanks for the setting it up. I didn't know what to expect. And then I was like, wow, what a wonderful little mixed match surprise. Like you can tell Vincent Price is having a good time, which always is wonderful then, right? Like
oh, apparently, they had to keep reapplying his makeup because he was having such a good time that he would just start laughing and that stuff was like real thin. So the makeup artist had to go like every 10 minutes and do a touch up.
That's about right.
Like he can't move. Yeah, he was just cracking up, having a great time. It's one of his favorite roles from what I've read.
And I can see why. He's got, there's such a range. So I guess we'll go into plot a little bit just because I don't know. This movie is hard to find is what we found. It's been out of print for a while. So you have to kind of use alternate methods to turn it up. We found it. It's not a hard Google to Google, but I'm not going to turn in our source. But you can find it.
Our Phibes source.
In various archival places, you can find it.
Yes.
So
we all got quiet and
sipped our beverages knowingly. So plot wise, so Dr. Phibes is a classical organist. right?
Yes.
Sounds about right.
He is a musicologist and a theologist. Not that that will come up.
Ooh, no, not at all.
No.
He also, as it turns out, it's very important to the story. He is a very devoted husband.
Hashtag relationship goals, everybody.
Hashtag
Mhm.
wife guy.
This or nothing.
But not like the skeevy wife guy. This
No.
is like the quintessential
Yeah. Yeah. This is the ideal, folks. Aim for this.
ride or die.
In this case, both, we find
Yep.
out. So there's a medical misadventure that his wife goes through. She has some surgery. She does not make it. And Dr. Phibes decides that he's going to take that out on the doctors that he feels killed her in very interesting biblical ways.
Yes. I like someone with a plan and a vision who's like, I'm just not going to have revenge. It's going to be thematic. He
Over the
invests
top.
money in this. Money and time.
Every
Significant
murder
amounts of
was like more elaborate than the
Yeah.
next, and I like how it built up
Oh, yeah.
over the course of the film. I'm like, yeah, okay, now we're
Yeah.
strangling
Oh.
kind of somebody with a contraption. We're freezing somebody. It was fun.
Always
to watch.
something new. Always something new.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. I'm like, this is what a joy. Like,
Yeah, right? Like I'm watching this. I love watching these people die. I sound crazy, but watch this film and you go, yeah, like
it's not graphic. Like,
Oh,
No.
no.
I could see
It's
where at the time it might be a little
it's
challenging.
classy
at times.
murder.
Yeah.
Classy. He's a gentleman. Okay, Phibes, Dr. Anton Phibes is a gentleman and a scholar. So your death is just going to be exquisite, refined. He doesn't, half-ass anything.
No, he certainly puts his whole ass into everything he does. We should bring up the fact that he was tragically disfigured in a car wreck and thought dead.
Yeah, which is very helpful
yes.
for revenge purposes.
Makes it
Yes.
easy. You don't have to fake anything. You don't have to do all the work, right?
Yeah. Like, oh, I'm dead, so it can't be me.
It's definitely somebody else
Yeah.
Yeah.
who also tragically died.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Like,
But what leads to the great visual of Phibes, which is it's Vincent Price, but like his skin seems a little papery, a little off, and he doesn't talk unless he plugs the little hole in his neck into a Victrola. And then he talks like this. Oh, great. Yeah, right? Celador, Unironica, my favorite movies in the chat. Yeah. And it's just such a stylish choice to have Vincent Price like not talk in most of your film and yet know that he'll still carry it.
Right, because he's just so menacing. He's able to telegraph that.
Yeah. Just like the way his eyes and his eyebrows go, like when he's having a delightful time murdering somebody.
He really is having the absolute time of his life.
Right?
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Vincent Price and Phibes, they're both like, this is great.
I laughed
don't want to be anywhere else.
hard at the part where I had to run it back when he's at the party. And I'm like, wait a second. He's drinking from the side of his neck. Because at first I thought he just did the whole like, yeah, I'm not drinking, and like, threw it behind him. And then I'm like, oh no, he literally pours the drink into the side of his
He's
neck.
got a little sippy hole.
Yeah.
It's that level of detail too, like this built up world, like how Phibes functions and how he has to. It's just, I love it. It also takes place both in the 20s. It's Art Nouveau, it's gorgeous, but also very much in the late 60s. And the movie's like, listen, don't worry. Don't worry.
The outfits, the set design is all, like you said, the colors, it's all late 60s. And then when they're saying the 20s, I was like, oh, really? Really?
Yeah, it definitely gave me a jolt when they were like, oh yeah, it's 1923. I went, are you sure?
What? Yeah, you sure?
I mean, the one car, like his car, which I also was obsessed with his little silhouette in the window.
Right, his art. I feel like that's what I want for my car. No one has to see me, but I'm here. I'm just gonna pull down this little like cover, this little curtain, and that is me, like spiritually.
Yes.
Like that little detail, like all the oh my god. So I guess what we should mention here is so he's themed because he's also, as I mentioned, has studied religion, is a theologist. So it makes sense that he's and it really works out that there's like 9 members of this surgical team because he's decided he's going to base it on the 10 plagues of Egypt from the Bible. Don't worry, the numbers work out. Though what's hilarious about this is these are not the plagues. Some of them are. A couple of them aren't.
Oh yeah,
Like,
literally.
Yeah.
I meant to read it beforehand, and I
Marginal.
It's my Catholic.
Yeah, there's
school
ones that
education
like
is
are
failing
just
me, but
sub in, and I can understand where they're like aesthetically like, oh no, but it's weird because they replace the one we don't see too. They
Yeah.
mentioned that one of the first killing is bees. Absolutely not one of the plagues.
For
they think it's
boils.
probably yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
For boils somehow.
For boils, which I guess
Yeah.
would it be hard? I don't know. I just think that's interesting. Like, why'd you change? It starts with a B. Like, I'm not complaining. We just don't see it. Like, I understand changing things that we see to make like a more fun and maybe financially viable kill, but why just say it was B?
that
Oh
was
my
my
god!
favorite. That's when I was really locked in.
Mwah.
Like,
Oh,
So
I love the
Plague of Frogs.
reinterpretations. Yes.
Yeah.
The Plague of the Frogs, which is a frog mask, this beautiful ornate frog mask during a masquerade that has this little timer. The guy doesn't see it. The doctor does not see that on the back. The latch actually has a little, it's slowly going,
It's a little ratchet.
getting closer and closer until he elaborately and dramatically dies on the staircase. Oh, beautiful.
The one with the rats was interesting because I read somewhere that they had to swap it because it was originally written to take place on a boat, and they couldn't logically think through like, oh, whoever that guy is, he would just hop into the water. So that's why
they couldn't
put
figure
him
out.
in a plane, which is
Which is
insane
also
to
weird.
me.
Yeah, which is Rats is another one they replaced. Rats is not one of the original plagues.
No.
So they made it harder for themselves, and then but listen, Rats on a plane. They worked it to the better thing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the one that's adorable to me, the bats.
Oh, the bats.
I was like, look
They
at those
look
little
so cute.
cuties. They have little dog faces. You can tell
Yes.
they're well cared for bats, and you're like, you're fine, buddy. Just
They
give it a
needed
little
some-
scritch.
They should have done some like a couple of cheap, scary looking like fake
Right?
ones.
But they were all adorable actual bats that I saw. I'm like, hey, buddy, it's so cute. Yeah, you don't fuck them up. Go get them. Go
I
get
know
them.
you just eat mosquitoes and fruit. Like I know you're not.
Yeah.
I think they tried as hard as they could, but there's no way they didn't go, oh no. Oh, that's adorable.
And I'm sure the only thing you could do, have them swooping.
Yeah, make them go
Mhm.
fast. Because once you
Yep.
get in close, like, oh,
You can't.
Yep.
Yeah.
boop, boop.
I was like, I'm gonna take you all home with me.
Yeah. I think oh god. Okay, oh god. All right, I look at the list. I keep going, oh, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. Because I love the blood one. First, it's Terry Thomas, who's
Which
like
is
one of my
awesome.
favorite, British comedic actors. Like you've probably seen him and go, oh, that guy, right? In fact, they brought him back for the 5 sequel as a different character to kill again. That's how much they enjoyed Terry Thomas in this film. But I just love that it starts with like, oh, I'm going to watch a naughty little reel at home in the 20s. Like it starts with that. And then he doesn't seem to catch on. Like it's not like they drug him or anything. They just sit him in the chair and then he's watching, which we haven't mentioned, Phibes' assistant Volnavia yet. He seems
That's
so
right.
British that he doesn't want to be rude about the fact that these 2 people are now in his house and now he's got a needle in his arm and now all his blood is slowly being sucked away. Like at no point does he raise his voice. oh my, this is a bit odd. Like that's the entire reaction.
And he does like paw at him, doesn't he? Because that's how the cops get the first clue.
Yeah. Like that's the most. He's like,
Please, no.
No, I think he's still a little embarrassed of, oh no, don't look at my dancing snake dancer reel.
Whatever stag film. Yeah. By the way,
That was great.
if you need a reference for Terry Thomas, Sir Hiss from Disney's Robin Hood.
Oh wow. I love that. I do also like this one's quick, and I appreciate that. Like some of them are a little more like it has a good rhythm. The brass unicorn head
Oh yeah,
that
that
is
one
just
was wild.
The plague of
when
livestock.
the door opens, it's launched across the street with this guy, and then they have to figure out if it's a clockwise or counterclockwise screw.
Did it?
Get him off.
And the look on his face, just frozen, impaled.
Yeah, the police had just showed up. Don't worry, sir. We're gonna protect you. Let me open. Fa-gong! I was like, mwah, mwah. The completely useless police in this film, once again, literally help with the killing.
Oh God.
Oh
They're
yeah,
so
but
good.
100%.
It just it cracks me up. And of course, Locust. Mwah, mwah.
Locust
That
was
was
very good.
long.
God.
Yeah,
And
I've
that
never thought to
also-
use Brussels sprouts that way.
That
Yeah.
also cracked me up when he gets like the little sheet out for her, like that's her outline, and then he lays that down. I'm like, what is he doing? And it's just her. He just so I know exactly what I'm doing.
It was amazing, and I was like, "What is? Why? Why?" But it's because he does things right. No one's gonna know, but he just wants to know. Like it has to drip just the right way.
What's
Like,
fascinating?
they boil Brussels sprouts, and you're like, "What's this?" And they're boiling it down, and he's being very choosy about what Brussels sprouts are in this thing. He boils it down to this green goo. They sneak into the hospital where they haven't. He must have known they were going to put the nurse. Listen, it doesn't matter, everybody. He knows everything. It's fine. It's
Yes.
fine. Is he behind the police in the elevator? Yes. Do they catch him? No, of course not. And he knows exactly the room above it. And he pulls out what KP said, like this like outline of a woman, so he can drill a hole by the head. And then he has an entire machine that's one side's full of goo and one side's full of locusts. So at first he green goozer. Covered in green, and there's this music going on, this blah 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 music, and then he turns off the goose spigot and turns on the locust spigot, and then and he's just tapping on the glass, getting every last locust out, just to fall on her and gently nibble her to death until she's literally a skeleton.
That killed me when they opened the door. They're just like, yep, she's dead now. Like, that's it. That's a skeleton.
How did she sleep through that? That's the thing. I don't know. What kind of tranquilizers did they give her?
The good stuff. Like they are in a
Like,
hospital, medical
yeah.
grade.
Yeah.
Like Seldor in chat. No, he didn't poison or gas her. I think they they said that they were giving her a sedative.
Yeah.
So I think that was it.
Yeah,
What
they
they didn't
were
specify
adamant
was yeah.
that
That
like,
her,
because she was like fighting against them and being like,
Mhm.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
She in
You know
fact
what?
was not fine.
Probably for good cause. She should not have listened to them at all. Like I
Yeah.
think she would have woken up at the first goo drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would hope.
Incompetent buffoons. This
The
whole way
Brussels
through.
sprouts goo. Like imagine the
Unbelievable.
smell.
Well,
Could you-
then
yeah.
I love the doctor because he's just like, no, like I've watched all these people are dead and you haven't saved a single person. You're not going to
Right.
save my son. I'm not
Right.
playing around with you, and just
Yeah.
knocks him
Finally,
right out.
yeah. Finally was like, you know what? No. Joseph Cotton from
Yes.
Citizen Kane as our, I would say protagonist, but he really doesn't register much. He's a very milquetoast, plain, boring, so boring character. I keep forgetting that, like, oh yeah, we gotta go back to this guy. I guess.
Yeah.
He's the last one, the big bad.
Protagonist
Yeah.
insofar as he moves the plot forward ever so slightly.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's fascinating. Also, Joseph Cotton has the most ridiculous resume ever. Because he's got that. What was it? He was in Gaslight.
Right?
Or
A
was he?
classic.
Um,
Oh God. Boo. Boo. But also, yes, all right.
Heaven's Gate, Third Man, Duel in the
how did-
Sun. Yeah. Yeah, he was like one of Orson Welles' guys.
Yeah. Well, hey, I
Gosh.
mean, I'm not saying he's bad at this. It's nothing for this character to do except for be the last.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he hits the 70s, and that's when he gets kind of eaten up by the AIP hammer situation. And it's all like Frankenstein's daughter and shit after this. But
Yeah.
he had that run in the 40s where, holy, it's amazing.
I love so we're talking about the plague. So there's two left, right? The death of the firstborn and darkness. I love that fully at this point, when the doctor's in the hospital, they're gonna try to save the nurse because she's like second to last, right? And they're trying to be like, well, he's obviously aiming for you because you were the lead surgeon. He blames you most of all. they know what these plagues are at this point. He knows he has a son, but he's like,
But-
no, I got an older brother.
That's the part that killed me. It's like, my older brother's already dead. What?
Sir, like, this is a couple days into this whole situation. You're very aware. There's no more mystery to figure out. They went to the jeweler and found out that Phibes had made this jewelry. Each was like a little a Hebrew glyph that represents that. Because here's what Phibes does. While he's counting who he kills, he has a wax bust of every one of his victims. And then he had these necklaces specifically made with like the little glyph that would represent each plague. And then, so every time he kills them, instead of like checking it off on a list, like, did it, he burns their wax face till it drips on the necklace. I was like, you know what? Mwah. I wish I had that energy.
That cracked me up. Just watching him, like, immediately dead. All right, we're cutting to the face burning, like the bus burning,
right? And then they went to like the rabbi who was like, who ran down what the plagues are in this film. Like when he says them, it's the ones that are here. I'm like, fair enough. It's even illustrated though. They know, and they know like the order. And I'm like, well, again, Dr. Not Bright and police, Sergeant Trout. And whatever else, whenever other fish he is called, just the worst. The worst. They might as well not be there. I mean, they're hilarious. But if we're talking plot, you know, they're. Hey, don't let these police in this movie help you because they won't. They can't. It's impossible.
They are 20 steps behind. I feel like they're not even in the same building.
Always.
Mwah. And I was like, oh, they're coming. Yeah, they're dead. They're already dead.
That's it.
Do you have a broom to clean up? Because that's the only way you're going to be useful here.
I do like that we get to the point where, you know, everything has gone so according to plan for Dr. Phibes that he doesn't feel the need to stay for the surgery.
Oh yeah, he's literally like, here's my finale. I know that you aren't gonna get anywhere near me. Because his plans will go. Yeah, that's a good point, KP. Where it's like, I'm just gonna wrap this up. You finish here. I'm just gonna go on down and balm myself with my wife. Darkness is my plague. See, I brought it around. There actually is 10.
Yep. And then he set Volnavia to destroy all of his things. And she's I love how she's taking an axe to everything. You'd think, burn it to the ground. I would think, you know, setting things on fire is a good way to get rid of everything. But no, she's just taking an axe to, is it like animatronics, the
his mechanical band. Yeah.
Yes.
Everything. We should talk about her because I love this fact that Volnavia is a henchwoman, a robot, a spirit of vengeance. We'll never know. Like, she just shows up and is totally on board with everything Phibes is doing. And it's sometimes she's just like cleaning up the area like it's a cafe, even though it's not a cafe, it's his lair. And I don't understand, and it's amazing, and I love it. She's playing the violin as he's finalizing a kill. She's in fur, she's in gowns. Like, wow, what a feast. I love her. I don't get her, but I love her.
Yes.
I don't know how you could get it. She's just, she's kind of the best hench person that's ever existed.
She's just there doing stuff.
There. She does her thing. She does it well.
Yeah. She's really good at distracting dudes.
No back talk.
She's just like, yes. Like, not even, she doesn't verbalize. You can just tell that she's on board. Apparently the actress kept cracking up acting with Vincent Price. So there's scenes like you can tell when they're dancing where she's turning her face away because she doesn't want to ruin the shot, but it's hilarious. So apparently Vincent was breaking up. She was breaking up.
It's got that vibe to it where everybody's just having a blast with it. They know that it's so tongue in cheek and so goofy.
Yeah.
But they're playing it as straight as they can.
Yeah. Just like giggling. And like, what a layer. Like, he's built an entire mechanical band. It's just for him. It's not part of the plot. He doesn't use them anywhere. He just has a band, and he has painted like scenery for nobody but him. And then at the end, he has Volnavia take the axe to it anyway. Like I don't know why this was all a part of his process, but it was. You know, like, he needed everything here. He needed the car with the little pull down curtains.
Yeah.
He apparently, I don't know if you can buy a Brussels sprout boiling into goo machine. I assume he built it or retrofitted something.
Yeah, I mean, I would figure that's the case because we didn't talk about the ice gun either. We haven't got.
Oh
we
my
have to go
God.
back for that because that's kind of
Oh,
my
right.
favorite kill. I think that's hysterical.
Yo, take it away then.
Yeah. So he kills one of them. Volnavia pretends there's car trouble, which gets somebody to pull over. Again, fantastic distraction. They sneak in, and he has fashioned some kind of. It looks like 60s ray gun mixed with an air conditioner.
Oh yeah, it's got
As near as I
fins
can
on
tell. It's got the really cool fins on it.
Oh.
And then I can't remember. Does he lock the doors in the car and then shoves the thing in? Or I know he puts it up front and shoves it through the wall, the firewall into the back seat.
It's
And
another
then
very British thing because he puts this in, and the guy doesn't
Gentle,
like.
right?
Yeah, he just kind of gives
Yeah.
it to him, like, "Hey, this is for you." I don't even know if he locks the door because, again, we don't get a big reaction like, "Oh, I should get out of here. This is scary." It's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. The odd thing, and this is why I'm
Cheerio.
confused, is yeah.
What a strange fellow.
That's exactly the energy. Huh? Where's my driver? And that's it. He's not getting out of that car until the
thing is-
driver opens the door. Maybe.
When they find him, it's in the front seat pointed at him. So at some
I-
point he got tired of holding it and just pointed it at his face.
I feel like the movie's like, you know what? Phibes doesn't actually have to work this hard to kill some of these people.
Yeah, no, they've been looking for a reason in most cases, it feels, doesn't it?
Yeah, now
Gosh.
I understand
Yeah.
how his wife died on the operating table because
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
a single one of these people should have ever gotten their degree.
Should never
I-
handle anything
what?
more complex than a coffee maker, as near as I can tell.
I like that because, like I think when I first watched the film, my thought is always like, well, he's just filled with revenge. You know, it doesn't matter if they were competent or not. She died, but I like this idea. Like, no, maybe they were just real bad at their jobs. This isn't just passion. This is right. He's got to take these people out of the system before
The
someone
only
else
good one
dies.
is our last guy who does get the surgery done in time to save his son.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a really great setup. Like this idea. So like Phibes is like obviously saving the lead surgeon for the end and eventually figures out, oh wait, I have a son. So by that time, Phibes has already kidnapped his son. and is taking him
on him, I guess,
Right,
in a way.
taking him to his lair, like so locked his neck down, and there's going to be acid that drips in 6 minutes. But yeah, so what Phibes has also done is did a little pre-surgery because he put the key right by his heart and just sewed him up real quick, and yet is acting like it's going to be terrifying for this surgeon to have to go in and get that key out because he has 6 minutes before his kids, I guess, all acided up. I assume you could probably put something there to. You know what? It doesn't matter. You don't got to think about this too hard. You go. There's a key by the kid's heart, and he's worried and tense. But I do like that idea that Phibes just did a little casual surgery to set it up. You know, it was for the bit.
Phibes is the world's greatest polymath. I think he's
Right?
good at everything.
Yeah.
Because the worry isn't, I just cut your son open and then put something rusty in there and sewed him up. That's not mentioned like that's the problem. It's the acid. The acid is the problem.
Yep.
This kid will be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Never mind the fact that his heart's going to just rot from gangrene in about 8
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, so like,
And I love
you
that.
need to
Yeah.
do it in 6.
And it's
Yeah,
a great
so-
setup because he's like, my wife was alive on the table for
6
6 minutes. I'm like, there we go. See, he's thinking
So
it through. It's
Now I'm
not,
thinking,
listen,
what
it's
in
not
19
random.
Now I'm thinking what in the 1920s was like proper surgery, like etiquette.
Oh, God, yeah. I keep forgetting. We are in the 20s.
Put your cigarette out before, I guess.
I'm
Maybe.
trying to remember my time watching The Nick and being
Oh.
horrified by what the
Yeah.
medical practices were at the time.
Yeah, it was a miracle anyone lived. Phibes, really. He's not
What-
putting up with that excuse, though.
Wipe your hands on your shirt and dive on in. I don't. Yeah, because
Oh.
the acid is the least of your worries.
Yeah, it might
Um,
clean everything up a little.
A little.
I do. I just love how extra he is at the end, right? So he's left. He's assuming he doesn't
Oh,
care if the
yeah.
doctor. He's probably just assuming that the doctor's not going to save his son, and walks to this elaborate
Yes.
coffin. I guess
Yeah.
who has his embalmed already wife
Yeah.
laying
Plan
down
ahead.
in it. And it's like what? It's mirrors on the inside, and it looks so comfy.
It looks real comfy.
It is about the most late 60s, early 70s thing I've ever seen. It's all nicely padded out, velveted, mirrored out. It looks like a swinging London shag pad somehow. It's
It
wild.
definitely does too, because it looks. At first, I was like, "What is happening here?" Because it looks like a kind of like inlaid bed,
Yeah.
not a coffin at all.
No.
It doesn't give that vibe. And then I'm like, "Oh, the top is closing on him, and he is embalming himself." Oh my god!
Yeah, it's just a queen size sarcophagus is really what it ended up being, but it certainly doesn't look that way to start with. By the way, Victoria Phibes played by the legendary Carolyn Monroe.
Yeah, I don't even think she's
From-
credited.
She
Just her
couldn't
She's not-
photo.
be.
She
She
couldn't be.
can't.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say
Yeah.
Hammer Horror had her on contract, so she couldn't be. But yeah, she was in Casino Royale for a hot second. Every single Hammer Horror movie that really ever existed. Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter. She was in Maniac later on. Like it's a who's who. Star Crash. She's in that. Just go through. It's wild the career that she had. She's incredible. But yeah, in this she just plays a completely silent and uncredited role as a corpse. The most important corpse in the film, no less, but a corpse
Oh, yeah.
nonetheless.
Yeah.
Um,
I gotta love Phibes' style too, where he has like, he's like, okay, self-embalming. I'm sure you can do it. So he had to research. And again, I feel like he had to build this equipment his own or adjust it. Cause I just feel like that machine didn't exist. Not a lot of call for self-embalming, So his mechanical know-how, his thinking outside the box, outside the sarcophagus, just all the aesthetics that no one's gonna see but him. It's gorgeous. No one's going to see the inside. It closes up nicely. I love how much he gets away with it. Like, yeah, he's dead. And spoiler, there's a sequel. But let's just read this as what it is. That's what he wanted. He just wanted revenge and then to lay with his wife. Again, hashtag goals. I love the idea. Like, yeah, I won. I did everything I needed to do. And now I'm going to clean it up myself. And then, doop, you can't touch us.
Yeah, because we don't
Yep.
even
I love it.
of like, oh, nothing's left. He already knew that nothing, like, once it was done, there was going to be nothing left but death.
Yeah. Darkness. Thematic, even on the way out. Ugh.
Yeah, and I was looking, what was it? It's a sun. It's the sun, the moon, and the earth.
Yeah, it's
On the
like
top
very
of the-
astrology, if I'm remembering.
He's an astrology girly, apparently, this whole time.
Well, he does a
Aren't you
lot.
surprised? I mean, he contains multitudes. Why wouldn't he be?
Why wouldn't he?
He's an engineer. He's a musician. He's a surgeon.
Oh, we didn't even talk about the
decorator.
music.
He's an astrologist.
Yeah.
As far as the music is concerned, add that little extra tidbit of being in the wrong time. We're set in the 20s, aesthetics in the 60s, music from like the 30s and 40s.
40s.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're like, don't worry about it. This is not a film that anyone's gonna get real uptight about.
No.
Look, blood. But what actually, I think this is actually perhaps a good starter horror film in that it's creepy, but it's in no way is it like there's not there isn't like gore. There's just like some nicely put together bottles of blood. They're very clean. They're stacked up on a shelf, which is very classy. I keep coming back. It's a classy.
Yeah,
it's more a general idea and a vibe than anything like you're not going to be like, holy crap, that's the craziest thing. Well, no, you might say think craziest. It won't be the scariest.
Well, there's not tension, right? Like we're watching these things happen, but I feel like if you wanted something scarier with Vincent Price, you could just watch House on Haunted Hill. Like,
also
a good starter horror film. I feel like, right? But that's actually going to make you feel scared.
Yeah. That's got menace to it because you're like, oh, these people are crazy, and and there's guns. Whereas like Phibes is basically, these people are gonna die. The only question maybe is the last guy, and it's like that's like the one question. Like I think you go through this entire movie going like, yeah, these people we're gonna see this happen because that's the entire setup of the film, and we just want to see how it goes down.
It's
as I said, relaxing. There's no tension. His plan's gonna work. Don't worry about it, everybody.
yeah, it's the cinematic equivalent of the Haunted Mansion. Maybe a little creepier than Haunted Mansion, but it's got that same vibe. It's kind of fun. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're kind of on Phibes' side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like I think the movie is like, no, this makes sense. Like nobody except for, again, maybe the doctor. And I'm going to argue that he himself isn't particularly sympathetic, but there's no other, like none of the victims are sympathetic. Like they're all like kind of rich or out of touch, or we don't even know them.
Because isn't like Mr. Froggy guy, like he's like, where are the women? Doesn't he say that or something?
It's something.
Like the impression that he's a bit of a slime ball. Like,
yeah, like and you get the feel it's intentional. You're like, the movie's like, don't worry, you can enjoy this. Don't worry, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad.
Justice.
Yeah, have fun with this. And it's interesting because like the sequel, I think, positions Phibes even clearer as like your protagonist, because his opposing side, it's basically he's going to Egypt to find eternal life. Now that he's found a way to bring his wife to life, and then he's going to have eternal life. And there's this other doctor guy who also knows about this, and that's what's been keeping him alive. So they're basically kind of like racing towards that, and like this doctor guy is you're like, Phibes, keep going, Phibes.
Yeah, you had me for a moment there where you were like, eternal life for Phibes. I'm like, his wife is dead. You're like, no, the wife is back. Okay, now, nope, it all makes sense now.
Well, he has her body. Like, this is going to make them both. Like, she's not up and moving. There's Volnavia, but she's a different actress. So also I don't know if it's supposed to be the same Volnavia or I don't know. They don't cover it. It's fine. It's a fine movie. It's not as good. And I think partly because the deaths aren't really themed. They're just vaguely Egyptians sometimes. But Terry Thomas dies again, so...
And that's unfortunate, because I feel like there's got to be fun stuff that you could do with Egyptian lore.
Right. It's a weird that they didn't keep one of the strongest parts of the film. I mean, Vincent Price is still having a great time. And it's a great use of Somewhere Over the Rainbow at the end. As obviously he wins. Of course he wins. And he's kind of like locked out the other guy. And the other guy is like up to his like neck in water. And he's like, he can't go any farther. And he's watching Phibes on this boat with one of those long poles, like going off into wherever the space is that opened in a pyramid, by the way. Of course, it's a pyramid that is going to go and give him and his wife eternal life. And this guy is about to like start decaying because like he's unnaturally extended his life. And you're like, don't step to Phibes. Look he won again, and now you have to watch this. At least the first movie, they didn't have to watch you win. Here he's gonna watch him. Bye, have fun somewhere over the. It's great. The ending is good.
Doesn't this one close with that too? That's really kind of fun they did both. Yeah,
I like that. That's his theme song. I don't think Wizard of Oz. I think Phibes when I hear that song.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
As I read a lot of the reviews for this movie and what people's reactions are, everybody's like, hey, isn't this just Saw? And yeah, kind of.
Yeah, we don't get Saw without this.
Yeah.
John Kramer, you're welcome. John Kramer, big Phibes fan.
Gotta be, right?
I feel like Phibes
a poor judge of character.
If he was going to be like, I'm making, like, if he let people know, hey, this is a trap, try and get out, he would 100% rig it so that they could not get out.
Yeah, Phibes is like, sure. You know what? Phibes is like, no, I'm not even going to tell you because I want this to be clean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's the point. Kramer's like, he thinks it's moral, but I don't know. And Phibes is like, I mean, I think it's moral, but also it's wild and crazy. So you're welcome.
Yeah.
Dr. John, you got to stop picking bad apprentices. I'm sorry. Not to go off on a mini rant, but not a one of them. Like, no, they're all a mess. my friend.
No.
I see your vision. I see your vision. I understand. Okay. I see where you're coming from.
You gotta get
Amanda, a mess. That police guy, a mess. The doctor, we don't know. Like, but probably a mess.
You
Here's the
gotta
thing.
get a Volnavia, you know.
I was gonna say it's
Exactly.
an unbelievably impossible standard to reach to get to
Yeah.
Volnavia's level. You're not going to do it. You
Yeah,
can't.
listen, Amanda, I'm sorry. You're a queen in your own right, a messy queen, and we love to see it. But you're no Volnavia. We said it.
Wasn't that in Saw 4? Amanda, you're no Volnavia. I think I heard that line.
Yeah, probably. Like just whispered. It's like this, like just so you could pick it up if you were like barely listening. Yeah.
Mhm.
Part of me
Yeah.
is thinking, do I need to go back and rewatch some of the Saw movies? And I'm like, no, I don't need to do
No.
that to myself.
I'm good.
No.
I'm
I
good.
need to have
This is-
nightmares. Once
Yeah.
was enough for. I think I only saw the first 3, and then I was like, you know what? We're
Mhm.
good. Thank
You
you
wanna know
so
what?
much.
Yeah. If I ever want to see a Saw movie again, I have Dr. Phibes. I'm
There we
not going to
go.
have to do it. This
And-
is going to be way more fun.
I'll sleep like a baby.
Right.
I won't need to do the Jedi mind wipe or the Men in
Right.
Black mind wipe
Yeah.
and watch like Gumball afterwards.
Yeah,
I can
watch
just
Gumball.
curl up with some sleepy time tea vibes and go right out.
Yeah.
What you need to do is do what I did, which I watched the soap opera cut where they're like, yeah, the kills, but like this is all the crazy shit, backwards,
Plots,
forwards,
points.
past, future. Everybody's connected. I'm like, wow, Saw, I like how you got off the rails and just kept going. Like, no, but then this guy knew this guy, and it turns out his wife worked in the clinic, and a man's there. No, but this guy also was there, and they caused. I was like, movie never stop.
See, I can get
Movie
with
never
that.
stop.
And I heard 10 was good. Or like it was kind of a
Yeah.
return to form. And
I like that. Like I am John Kramer 10 or 20 years earlier. You can tell by the hat. And I mean that genuinely. Don't put
Mhm.
Tobin Bell in a bunch of makeup. Let the man act. It's fine. We all know what's happening. It's okay.
Put him in a hat and made him look like Spanky from The Little Rascals.
It was hello, fellow kids energy. And I
Oh
love
my
it.
God.
Genuinely.
Ridiculous.
oh my goodness.
Oh, but there's gotta be like I can't imagine those films existing without Phibes. Like there's just that
Yeah.
there's something about it that's particular. I think it's the complicated, like attention to the deaths. I'm not just going to kill you. I'm going to spend a lot of time on it and then
Yeah,
kill
Count,
you.
Count
The
of
Rube
Monte
Goldbergness
Cristo.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Oh.
Count of Monte Cristo. If Count of Monte Cristo was Rube Goldberg, that's exactly the way to sum that
Yeah.
up.
Oh, like a nice long-term revenge. Like I've been soaking in it.
I've been
That's what
soaking
you
in
want.
this.
I've been soaking in it. I've been thinking. I've been planning. Let's do it.
I have made sure all of my death traps are properly filigreed. Like,
You think he did
Yeah,
like
keep
test
on-
runs?
Ooh.
yes,
There's the
there are
prequel.
there are 3 different hospitals across London that have no doctors anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
It turns out they're
like-
all about as dim as these.
We don't know who Volnavia is. Maybe he's got a crash
Right.
test dummy. Who knows?
That could
Like
be,
he's
right?
just
Just dressed up like her. I don't want to waste the Volnavia I have, so I'm just gonna run this.
well.
That is
he
like
made
a
those
cardboard
mechanical-
cutout.
He made those mechanical musicians. He's probably got
Yeah.
mechanical doctors. You know.
Right. Why
That's
did my
it.
head,
That's why he had the lair like that. He's been
Yeah.
through that. Oh, I like that.
why did my head
Yes.
immediately go to dinosaurs? We're gonna need another Timmy. Anyway.
Oh god. Oh my god. God, this film is so gorgeous. I keep coming back to that, right? Like,
really
there's no
is.
reason that this film has to be beautiful, but the director, Robert Fust, I believe it's pronounced, he was an art director before, and that all makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Because, like, it didn't have to go as hard as, like, just the shot compositions sometimes are really beautiful. They're
Yeah.
gorgeous. Somebody spent time thinking about it. You know, even, like, the murder scenes are beautiful. That frog mask, it's gorgeous. What a way to go.
Yep.
You know, and I just, or just the random aesthetics like Volnavia and Phibes dancing, like in the lair to the music, like that doesn't provide plot. That just provides vibes for Phibes.
Excellent.
Yeah. Thank you, Seldor in chat. Said vibe. I've been thinking on it. I've been marinating on it, and I'm like, I'm
Brilliant.
doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He made the Devil's Rain too. Holy cow.
Oh, that's like a different aesthetic. but
Right?
visually bizarre. Oh, that's
Yeah.
fascinating. I like the goat version in
goat?
Devil's Reign. Yes,
Really?
goats.
Goats. Uh-oh.
Ugh.
Did we lose Meg? Okay. You froze for a second. Yeah.
Oh no.
Devil's Reign's fun. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I haven't
Ernest-
seen any of these. so I'm
Ernest
It's
Borgnine.
much more 70s.
Yeah. Borgnine, Eddie Albert, Keenan Wynn, and Anton LaVey.
Gotta bring some realism. But no, Goat Borgnine. Like, listen, I don't want to ruin stuff, but also Goat Borgnine.
I see a picture. I see a picture. My goodness.
I think that's supposed to be scary. I can't stop laughing every time I see that because it's still Ernest Borgnine. Like, you still see him there, but he's a goat. A devil goat, a devil. I don't know. I see why they're doing it. Devil, goat, devil worshippers. Yeah. I just feel like maybe the intended effect did not happen, at least for me.
It happens. Sometimes it just doesn't complete.
It's okay. There's eyes melting out of people's faces in it.
That's a goodie.
Am I remembering this correctly? This is the eyes melting. Or am I ranting about goat Borgnine and you're like, wrong, Phil?
No,
you're right.
Goat's there. I clicked on it in IMDb.
Took me a minute to catch up.
That's picture number 3.
Just grayed out. Yeah. It's fun. Let me see if I can find a picture of Goat Borgnine to share with anybody watching.
Goat Borgnine.
And John Travolta's in this.
It's
William Shatner.
Yeah, Shatner's in it. I love that. Oh, look at that. Oh God.
Goat 9.
I mean, it's just fear is not the emotion I feel.
No. It's
the robe.
Hey, little
is pretty
buddy,
great,
you lost. You look confused.
Okay.
Yeah, it's worth checking out. It's fun.
Yeah. I like all the I love all these connections where you can see stuff. I feel like Phibes is either actually inspiration, or it just you can see like crumbs from one thing to another.
Mm-hmm.
I love that their ad campaign, it came out I think a year after or 6 months when Love Story came out.
Awesome.
So, Love Story's whole thing was love means never having to say you're sorry. That was their big tagline. So the Phibes, at least their initial ad campaign and the posters, it's just a picture of like Phibes and Volnavia as if they're lovers, and it says love means never having to say you're ugly, which doesn't even make sense.
No.
But you can tell them going like, but no, we have to strike while the love story iron is hot. Apparently they changed the ad campaign later because no one knew what this movie was because of that. And they're like, oh no, it's a horror film with Vincent Price. Oh shit. Yeah, oh no, we're sorry. We're trying to be clever and we out clevered ourselves. Yeah, like it's a fun poster, but it in no way tells you what this movie is.
Not
That's
remotely.
like a meme.
Yeah.
Ooh, pre-meme. Like, look at it. It's gorgeous. I love it, but because I know what the movie is, I'm like, this is funny. Yeah.
And
it's not his wife.
Though, because I mean, it is a love letter to his wife, right?
Yeah.
Like it's love is at the core of this movie, but not with Volnavia. And
that's strictly professional, damn it. Okay. She's a professional. It's like, listen, I come here and I do my work, whether I am a robot or a vengeance goddess or whatever I am. I am a professional, if nothing else. Now, do you want me to take an axe to this or okay? You got it, Chief. Yeah.
The queen of yes and.
Yeah. Always like, and what else? Yeah. Like this and what? But what if I did this? Okay, but what I'm thinking is, what if I just find some greyhounds to walk? I don't know where these dogs came from, but they're necessary for the plot all of a sudden. Listen, I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it, boss. Okay, fine. Greyhounds, fur, but like winter fur, not the black fur I was wearing, but more like whatever. But I was like, also bring violin. Oh, he wants a telescope and it's got to be brass. Like, okay, don't worry, I got this. There's a lot of setup involved. Asterisk, make sure to bring hail machine. Integral to plan. Just loading up the back of that car.
An unsung hero.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Gotta be working 80 hours a week.
But you know what? If you do what you love, you never
work a day in your life.
Work a day
Yeah,
in your
that's right.
life. Which is how I feel about Anomaly.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. We have so much fun. You should come have fun with us too.
Yeah.
It's November 5th to the 9th at the Little Theater, Rochester, New York. It's not really wrap up time yet, but it was such a great segue.
No,
I'll
that
throw
was
it
too
in
good.
now. And we I guess we can button it up on the backside of doing that little pluggish thing. Any other final thoughts about the Abominable Dr. Phibes? Dr. Phibes rises again. Is that the sequel?
Yeah, it was a year after. They went right into it.
Yeah, because it made them money, right? So they were like, let's cash in on this.
Let's do it.
Expeditiously.
I mean,
Or not?
it was American International. So they were like, ka-ching, ka-ching.
Yeah.
That's my impersonation of
I have to correct
AIP
myself.
film.
Sam Arkoff is American International. I'm very sorry. It wasn't Corman. It was Arkoff.
You know what? It had a Corman feel, but apparently
It
Vincent Price hated him.
Really?
He hated Arkoff. He feels I don't know the whole thing, but
Fascinating.
yeah, there's a story where they were doing a party, like a I don't know if it was like a premiere or whatever, and they were gonna have Price cut the cake, and they couldn't find anything to cut it, and Price goes, "Well, you could take the knife out of my back and use that." So this is what he thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the details, but I know the vibe.
Yikes on bikes.
Yeah. He liked these films. He did not like apparently working for this film studio, and particularly that head of studio.
Fair enough. Yeah, he is a fascinating human being. I'll just throw this in before we go. Sam Arkoff related his tried and true Arkoff formula for producing successful low budget movies during a 1980s talk show appearance. His ideas for a movie included action, revolution, killing, oratory, fantasy, and fornication. What's that spell? Arkoff.
Oh my god. Okay, I get it, Vincent. Even if it was just that, I get it.
Yeah. Where he's like,
exhausting.
this guy runs the studio, but he doesn't know anything about anything. His employees are what make the magic happen. That's what I'm understanding.
He's the police in Phibes.
Yeah. Buffoon.
That's the word. Buffoon.
This movie is chock-a-block with buffoons, and it's all the better for it.
Heck yeah.
Speaking of buffoons, the Anomaly fan.
Oh no!
No, please go. Speaking of buffoons,
right to our faces.
Oh god, there's one in a green sweatshirt talking to you right now. That was terrible. It was such an easy. Ugh.
We are buffoons. We make magic happen,
joy.
but we are buffoons.
Yeah. Come watch us make magic, much like Dr. Phibes. Actually, you know what? I think there is a straight line between Dr. Phibes and the magic we make at the Little Theater every year. It's intricate. It's put together against all odds.
The death traps?
Not to mention the death traps.
I know it's supposed to be a surprise, but we're so excited every year when a few of them go off.
It's great. And we appreciate people coming back, most of them every year.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are all the Volnavias to the potato.
That's true.
Yes,
We are
I love it.
fleet of them.
Photo shoot.
Get the dogs, get the greyhounds.
Okay.
I'll call Vanessa for her furs.
Yes. we got a plan.
That's plural is hilarious. Yeah. So come join the fun. It's November 5th through the 9th this year. Bring your own death trap. Please don't bring your own death trap. I should say that.
We've got it covered.
Do not.
We've got it covered.
Yeah,
Don't worry about
we're all
it.
good. We're all set. Bring yourselves possibly some money, but that's all we really need is you, not the money.
Yeah.
Kind of the money. Anyway,
Hello.
I've been talking on stuff nonstop for like 5 hours today. So this is where I am at this point. I'm real punchy. So I apologize in advance. Or actually, it's
You're
over.
exactly
so
where
there
you need
go.
to be for Anomaly. No
Right?
worries. We like them punchy.
I'm punchy. So yeah, thanks for joining us for the Abominable Dr. Phibes. I don't know what the next movie is going to be, but I can guarantee it'll be pretty great. Yeah. So this has been Anomaly. We've been the Podcastronauts, and we will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
The following footage.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Phibes!
The buffoons.
Phibes! Buffoon!